Good morning. It's 9:03. My name is Michael Linder. I am the Vice Chair of the Human Services Committee. We would call the meeting to order, except right now we lack a quorum. So I think we're going to start just with some informational stuff that can go on the record. And we may not be able to vote for anything today. Well, let's start with a roll call.
Allen, Garcia, Gripe, Lewis, Tarver,
Here.
Linder,
Linder here.
Surges, Roth.
Roth here.
We do not have an in-person quorum.
Okay, without an in-person quorum, we cannot conduct business, but we will charge ahead. We have remote attendance request from Mr. Tarver, and there was one from Ms. Lewis, but we don't think she's going to make it online anyway. Mr. Tarver, without objection from the one voting member here, you're welcome to join us this morning. We can't approve minutes. We see no public comment. Jamie, monthly financial reports are probably on file.
Yes, they are.
Okay. What do you see in the Blue Cross Blue Shield?
We can go ahead and go through reports and everything, and anyone who wants to know can certainly review this meeting online if they'd like to know. So we'll do reports as normal, and we'll talk. I know we can't vote on anything if we don't have a quorum. We'll kind of go through everything we have in our reports, and then the resolutions we have. And with your permission, I'm hoping we can put them on the next agenda even without this approval, because we are kind of on a timeline with things like health and dental rates that we do need to move those through.
Right.
So I hope to put them with the chairman's permission on executive anyway, even if this committee isn't able to approve. So we'll just kind of proceed as normal. Christine, did you want to present Blue Cross?
Yep, absolutely. Christine Davis, Human Resources. So the first report on file is the Blue Cross Blue Shield monthly invoice, and that is for the month of April at 1.7 million. There's no questions. The next report is the totals for the Blue Cross Blue Shield and MERP participants. And the Assured Partners report. And there's nothing really interesting about that this month.
Was Ms. Garcia? Welcome, Ms. Garcia. No, Ms. Garcia has arrived. Mr. Gripe joined online. We still don't have an in-person quorum, so.
Yeah, my apologies, guys. My card decided not to operate this morning, so.
Understood. We are short of in-person quorum here, so we're going on with the informational portions of the meeting, Mr. Gripe. Ms. Garcia, any objection to admitting Mr. Gripe?
No.
Okay, Mr. Gripe.
No objections.
Mr. Tarver still in. Okay, go ahead.
All right. And
For the interruption, Christine.
the next report are the monthly applicants and staff changes. So this will show all the positions that have been applied for, new hires and resignations or terminations. 32, there is also a graph showing the exit interviews. We've adjusted the time frame from May 1st, 2024 to April 30th of 2025.
Okay.
And the next report are the workers' comp reports.
Hello,
Christine,
David Larson.
Yes.
sorry, John Gripe here. It's awkward online. I've never been online before for a meeting. Could you go back to the reasons people left?
Yes, the graph on page
Yeah.
32. Yes.
Yep. And it's interesting to me. I mean, I'd expect the more money, but actually I'd expect more money to be a little higher. And we don't need to answer this now, but I'd be very interested in that bottom yellow section,
too.
dissatisfied with work environment. Not that we have more but we got dissatisfied with work environment, dissatisfied with workload or job duties. So that's what, 33 percent,
Percent.
32%. So a third of the people that leave are with things that ostensibly we might be able to address. So again, I don't need an answer right now, but
Mhm.
I think it behooves us because we want to keep the good people we've got. So if there's anything we can do to get more detail on that, and if not, if we can do anything to try and affirm people, I don't know what it is, but anyway, for the future, I'd love to chat about that.
Yeah, we could definitely send an email with some of the responses. And then just keep in mind, these exit interviews only go to county department offices, not elected officials. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we can send you an email with some more detailed information.
Super. But is based on your last comment, would that indicate that elected officials, people leaving elected official offices don't fill this out?
This is Jamie. Just to add in, the elected officials did not want to participate in our exit interview process, and they certainly don't have to. We can't compel that.
Right.
Many of them do their own exit interview process. They don't share that information with us. So that is why the elected offices aren't in there. They were given the opportunity to opt in if they want to, but they didn't. They prefer to do their own research.
Interesting. And I'd be glad to work with them to try and encourage them. But even if they don't, I think we can assume that the reasons would probably be similar. But anyway, for the future, love to chat about it. It's something we could do to make your lives a little easier so we don't have departing people complicating your jobs.
And we certainly do look into those exit interviews. We don't just take the statistic and walk away. So we make to make sure that we're not having, a serious problem or something like that in the department. So we do look at those a little closer. And if we have an issue that can be addressed with the department, we bring it up with the department.
Excellent. Thanks, Jimmy.
If only the legislature back in 18, whatever, had known what problems this internal control would produce. It's not necessarily a problem, but it's something we end up getting blamed for that we have no even knowledge of the problem if it exists. So that's the way it goes. Mr. Roth.
Roth here. Would it be possible we could do like a graph showing over time? I mean, this is, you said, as of April 30th, right? And it's only 15 responses, but over the last year, I don't remember seeing dissatisfied with work.
Oh, this is
being
12
that high.
months. This is 12 months. Mr.
Is it
Roth.
12 months?
This is 12 months.
Okay.
We used to provide, since we started doing this,
Right.
and then the committee had asked us to provide a more definitive time frame. So we
Okay.
roll
And-
it
and
into
that's
a
fine.
year.
But to show when something's popping up or whatever, I mean, is this sometimes something happens like with a certain department that would cause, example, workforce, the whole rigmarole, what's going on there as
Right.
an example. I'm not saying that's this, but
Right. And certainly when it was, that was something we discussed with the board. So that's something
Yeah.
that we review in human
Okay.
resources, and then we bring forward if we have a trend, or something that's indicative of a more systemic problem.
right. And that's kind of what I'm asking, the trend.
It is kind of surprising to me because we have so many people who stay here because they love working for the county. And at least they say they do. And I believe them. And they have this proportion that are disgruntled with their work environment is concerning.
Sometimes it's an individual situation. Sometimes it's a single manager or something like that. Again, that's why we kind of look at it and try to bring it forward to the department head while honoring the confidentiality that we promise people when they take these. So we don't disseminate their name or their specific comments to anyone in their department without their prior permission to make them more comfortable in doing these. So we need to honor that and continue to honor that. It's the only way to guarantee that our people are being honest.
100% with that.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
I know that it's just only 15 people, right? Correct?
Yes.
And I know for confidentiality, But is there any way that you can see like which departments are higher than other ones? So that way we can say like, okay, this department needs a little bit of more help than the other ones?
It's dependent on how the data falls. We don't want to give away the identity of the people that responded, and it is a small sample. So sometimes when it's a very small sample, even de-identifying the names can be indicative. If a department only had one person leave over the last, year, and that is the response. So we have to be careful. So we do look at that closely before we disseminate anything associated with it to make sure we're remaining confidential with the people that respond.
Yeah, that could be a problem in a small department. So, okay. Moving forward, where did we were in the Blue Cross thing, I guess. Let's go back to that.
I think we were past Blue Cross and we were ready to move on to workers' comp.
Okay, we're ready to move on. Okay, workers' comp.
David Larson, Human Resources Risk Manager. So looking at the claims for this fiscal year to date, overall cost per claim's been going down. We've been seeing positive trend. I've been reporting to individual departments slowly, one-on-one with a more detailed level of reporting. But really that's kind of where we're at right now, slowly warming the awareness of the cost of the incidents and preventability of incidents when they occur.
Yeah.
A lot of data there, so I'm happy to answer any specific questions you have.
And along with that, since we're not voting right now anyway, we are contracting with a new broker. We have that as a resolution on here. So even though we can't vote on it, I kind of just want to introduce you to the folks we have. So they came so that you can meet them. So we have two individuals here. So we have a contract resolution up to have our broker be Alliant. We were with the previous broker for years. Their company was bought out. Our representative left. So we did our RFP those services again this year. So Alliant won the bid in that RFP, and the contract is attached if there's any questions. And Dan, did you want to come up and just say hi?
Good morning, Dan Mackey. I'm the head of our public sector practice. Just want to say, hey, thanks for having us this morning. We're really excited for the opportunity to work with the county. And like I say, with that, I'll introduce Dane, who is our lead executive.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here and pleasure to be working with the county moving forward. I am your account executive, so I'm your day-to-day provider of service delivery for your renewal and all things risk management and assistance and support for staff. So looking forward to that. And thank you for having us.
Could you give us just a little background on the company?
Sure.
Sure. We are with Alliant Insurance Services. So we are the largest writer of taxing bodies in the state of Illinois and also the United States. So we have a specialty practice that really just focuses on taxing bodies with a real niche in counties and large cities.
Okay, good. Thank you.
They are the broker for most of these counties up in Northern Illinois, including Cook and DuPage and
Cook, DuPage, Lake, Will County, Kendall County. So yeah, we've handled them all for over 15 years and look forward to, like I said, working with the county.
Jamie, are we looking at a renewal date for where we'd be switching, or are we looking to cancel and switch?
It's a renewal that our insurance will be switching. So our current policies will continue until their end date, November 30th, but we will be switching over to Align as our broker of record so that they can work on getting our new policies in place for December 1. So we will start working with them right away, since we do start working on renewals in the summer.
Okay, I was worried if there was some urgency and not be able to do anything today. So, okay.
No, there's not urgency to it, other than we do need to get started on our renewals, and they do need to be our broker of record to work on those renewals. So that's why, so we do want to move this through the process. But I'll talk to the chairman about putting these on executive.
Maybe put it on exec without, yeah, that sounds.
Is there any savings for the brokers, or what's the difference?
No, we had a flat renewal, which was based on Rich Ryan specifically. So we really weren't in a position to consider that renewal at the same price. Alliant was the competitive bidder in the process. So that's why we did go through with an RFP, because we were going to be facing an increase in that anyway. Just so you know, that is an insurance liability expense. It does not affect the general fund.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Mr.
thank
Gregg.
you. Just a quick question, and I'm trying to keep my dogs from barking, sorry. Two questions. Gentlemen, thank you for coming today. Number one, other than being the biggest in the industry, which clearly you are, can you tell us a little bit about what makes you best?
Sure. I think the experience talking about that, what makes us the best is our people. So that's by far our most valuable asset. It's the people that go up and down the elevator every day. That's who, when you have a problem, you're going to pick up the phone and call. And so we've really taken time over the years to build a quality, experienced public sector team that has, like say, great professionals like Dane with many years experience.
Okay,
Just
thank
a little
you.
bit, just a little bit more on that too, about the experience level of our staff and myself. I work exclusively really with public entities. It's my background. I have a master's in public administration. As a former risk manager for Lake County and other public entities. So that is my passion, is to provide risk management and insurance services for public entities to elevate risk management programs. But it's not just me, it's really it's a commentary about our entire team and the focus that we have as a specialty, as a public entity group. So that's what we pride ourselves on.
I think that's important. Is you probably have seen our biggest problem is in the correctional center places. And somebody who has experience in a county understands that, knows what we're looking for. And we have a new risk manager on staff who is going to help us with that too. So I think kind of a matchup there between the two of you will be very helpful to us. Anything further, Jamie? We can let these guys go.
Along the same terms of insurance, something I wanted to bring up as well, Madam Chair had brought up a couple of times regarding reserve balances,
Yes.
insurance reserve. We do have an insurance reserve in the insurance liability fund. It's somewhere between 10 and 11 million, I believe, right now. We have built it over the last couple of years because after some losses back in 2017, 2018, we did have to raise our self-insured retention. So we did raise our reserve. As far as what that reserve balance should be, one of the things that our new brokers recommended was we can certainly do an actuarial study where they would help us determine a target reserve balance. So that's something I'm going to look into over the next month as far as what that would cost. And we'll bring that back to the committee to make a decision on if that's something you'd
Okay,
like to
good.
do.
Mr. Surgis and I spoke about that a little bit on the phone yesterday. And his feeling is that our reserves are fine, we don't even need to look at them. If it's not going to cost us a lot of money, it can't hurt to look at it. If it's going to cost us a lot of money, we should just add that money to reserves and be done with it. So we'll move on, but thank you. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here today. Sorry we didn't have a full committee. I think the sunshine was a problem, but we'll see. Thanks.
All good. Thank you. Have a great day.
Good. Bye now.
Mr. Chair, not to monopolize the conversation here, but Jamie, if you could clarify, you mentioned that the cost of this service, these services, doesn't come from the general fund, which is fine. Frankly, I don't care where it comes from because it's costing somebody. Was this change fee driven or service driven, or what was the background?
It was both driven. So ultimately, the fee that we were receiving was not going to continue. The smaller company, Presidio, that we used to work with Rich Ryan, was bought out by Acrisure Insurance, a larger company. It was also service driven. We didn't find the breadth of experience in public entity from them, as well as response times from our account executives. Struggles with invoicing where they wouldn't let us send them a wire and they wanted us to mail them a check for several million, things like that, that it was kind of a struggle you know, with some of the day-to-day with them as well, as much as they were good people and they did their absolute best. I think the transition was difficult as well. What led us to RFP the services, if we're going to be paying an increased fee, we felt that the responsible thing to do was to re-RFP that. You know, we're looking at pretty, you know, potentially larger increase in that fee either way. So by going out to bid for that, we make sure we're getting the most competitive price.
Excellent. Thank you. And when I ask these kinds of questions, Jamie, it's not because I have any question about how you guys make decisions. It's just wanting to get information that's not available, you know, there to kind of make sure if my constituents ask me, then I'm like, yeah, absolutely. They continue to make very good decisions and do very smart things. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Mr. Roth.
Regarding that reserve, that's paid through what people pay for medical, right? And then the county pays a certain percent too, correct?
This is the commercial insurance reserve, so it's
Okay.
separate from the health insurance
Okay.
reserve, being
Oh,
that
okay.
employees contribute to the health insurance reserve. So this is insurance liability. It is funded through a separate tax levy,
Oh,
insurance
okay.
liability levy.
Okay. All right. But the other one I think we need to look at too is the medical insurance, because I think Cliff had mentioned we're pretty close to what he thought was sufficient.
We're actually, that's up here to speak
Oh,
about. I know you
okay.
can't vote, but if you'd like, we can kind of talk about it. That would be the monthly health and dental contribution rates.
Okay.
So our health insurance reserve fund is actually at the top of where it needs to be. So our target is between 25 and 50% of the annual spend. So right now that would be around 9 to 10 million. And so at the end of the year, we were actually just over 9 million. And if you go back to the reports that we had, you'd see so far this year, we've put 241,000 into reserve. So based on our discussions with our broker, so we did meet with our health insurance broker regarding health insurance rates. And based on all of the projections that we got from our broker, they believe that we will finish this year roughly even, or possibly putting 1% out of the reserve fund. So fairly flat to finish this year. And towards next year, they are thinking of an increase because of health insurance inflation of about 6% total. And that would be about $2 million higher. And given where our target is on the reserve fund and talking with Kathy Hopkinson, we are proposing to keep rates flat. That'll make sure that that's, you know, not impacting the general fund in a negative way as we're facing other budget challenges. And with the intention of taking about $2 million out of the reserve fund next year, which would put it squarely between that 25 and 50% mark.
Right. I think this was an issue a couple of years ago too. Our reserves are way too high. And so that's where we get into discussion with our employees about that 80-18 thing. If we're building reserves rather than keeping reserves level and putting some money back on our side. So that's a good thing that we're able to do that. It's assuming that we don't have a bunch of horrendous cancer claims between now and.
Right. It's assuming, you know, that's what our broker does. They do go through and they do look at our past claims experience and health insurance inflation and as well as what Blue Cross indicates they expect health insurance inflation to be as an industry. And we take all of those factors into consideration and we project. So normally we project what we would need rates to be and hope to keep that fund roughly flat, or if it needs to be adjusted because of inflation to keep between that 25 and 50%, we would do so. But being that it's not over the 50% mark, but it's approaching it. So we have an opportunity here to keep rates flat, given the other budgetary challenges the county is facing. That would be a way to support the general fund by not increasing, because if you were to increase rates, that would increase the health insurance benefit burden per employee on the general fund as well as all the funds.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Jamie.
And the last resolution was just to approve Blue Cross and Cigna. That would be continuing of our current benefits into 2026.
Okay, so those are our contribution rates. They're not the rates that they're charging us, the rates that employees and the county will be putting into the fund.
Correct. It's a fully self-insured fund, so we pay a per employee admin cost to Blue Cross to administer our fund. It is but our rate is based on all of the expenses of the health and dental plan rolled together. And then split 8317 county
Be
employee.
17, is it? I'm sorry, I misstated that. Is there some need for this to be shoved ahead to exec, or can this wait till next month?
This needs to go forward to exec as well, because we need to work with our open enrollment provider and start getting open enrollment set up. So,
Okay.
again, we're going to ask that this can go forward to finance. I believe we normally put our rates through
This is finance.
finance as well. So this would go to finance. I'm honestly not sure. Did we route the commercial insurance broker to finance? Okay, yeah, and that's what I anticipated. Rates does impact the budget, and that's why that was planning to go through finance.
Good to have the legal department here. Thank you. All right, well, that's just kind of
I'm sorry.
winds it up.
I just want to go ahead and ask with the consultants with Alliance. Can they go ahead and guide us, or can they go ahead and look for someone that it will be cheaper to just look at overall all the accounts instead of like us doing it?
Are you
and
referring to health and dental, or are you referring to commercial insurance?
to the commercial?
That's what they do. Yes, that
Okay.
is what they do for us. They go out to all of the carriers
Mm-hmm.
and they shop for the best rate for us. We do pay a fee to our broker rather than commission to ensure that they have, no other interest in it other than getting us the best rates and the best plans possible. So they do go out to all the carriers and get us the best insurance possible for commercial insurance. That's what they do. One of the many things they do for us.
And then for the group health and the dental benefit, do we have something similar?
We have a
Is it
broker with
just-
them as well. We have a
is
different
broker
broker
to-
for health and dental that does the same thing. And that's something that as the county looks at budget, a couple years ago, we went out to bid on those versus other companies, and we got a United Healthcare bid that we brought forward for the county board to make a decision regarding carrier. And they elected to continue with Blue Cross. United Healthcare is a lower cost option.
There's a lot of pressure from employees about leaving Blue Cross. So for pennies a month
It-
or a couple dollars a month, they'd
Blue
rather.
Cross is by all means the gold standard as far as insurance. More providers take Blue Cross. United Healthcare is a lot more, they review claims in a higher scrutiny level. So, it's definitely a different service model, although we quoted the exact same coverage level. United Healthcare's model of putting more scrutiny on claims certainly adds an extra layer of challenge to that. But that saves money again, too. They also put a larger filter on it. So that's a board decision, whether or not you want to continue with Blue Cross or you want to reconsider United Healthcare. We would have to, that is a long process, given the complexity of our programs. So if we were to do that, we would be doing it for 2027, which is something the board can consider since we are keeping 2026 rates flat.
When we had the last decision between United and Blue Cross, we also looked at the disruption rate, the number of people who would have to change providers. And it was very small.
It was very small.
It was almost to the point where we could have said, we'll cover it. I mean,
Yeah, you're looking at a couple dozen affected employees. Just remember, for those couple dozen employees, it's everything.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Mr.
Yes, Mr. Roth.
I got a text from Mr. Tarver. He's done with his plumber. He could come in real quick. Would we reach quorum with him here?
No, it wouldn't matter. We still would need one more.
no,
Okay, I'll let him know.
no, if Mr. Tarver was here, we would have quorum. Yes, that would be four.
And he's in Batavia. Do you want me to text him?
Four is all you need.
Yeah. Yeah, we could use Bill. Come on in.
I'm texting him now.
Yes, Mr. Tarver, if you could come in, we will have an extra cup of coffee and wait for you.
All right.
I'll be there as soon as I can. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tarver. Okay. So We're not off the hook after all.
Doesn't count until we only need one. Then when we only need one, he counts.
Well, that's why I'm always here, because, yeah, I know, I see, Leslie.
We're in a brief recess here and waiting a quorum, probably be 10 or 12 minutes. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so he's 15 minutes away.
Online folks, we're going to go into a brief recess, waiting for Mr. Tarver so we can vote on the resolutions. We will
10:30.
go ahead and mute the mics here in the room. If you happen to need anything, use the chat feature in Zoom to get our attention, and we can always flip the mics back on to help you out. Thank you, everyone.
We're good.
We're good. Okay. Okay, again, we're going to resume. Mr. Tarver has arrived.
Welcome, Mr. Tarver. Thank you for rushing over.
Is to use Mr. Roth, the county vice chair or co-chair, vice chair,
Vice Chair.
to complete a quorum here. So we do have a quorum. We're going to move backwards on the agenda. We did remote attendance requests.
So we can reapprove
we can
those.
approve the minutes. Wait, do we need to reapprove them?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we should. And then I'll make a motion to do unanimous acceptance of minutes.
Okay. Still no public comment. Monthly financials are still on file. We really can just move down.
Mr. Linder,
Pardon me?
you need to call roll to.
Oh, right,
establish
to make
quorum
it-
You need
because
to
you-
call roll since we came
Well, you
back.
have to actually convene the meeting now.
Oh, okay, so we're reconvening and taking roll. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Juby.
Allen, Garcia,
Garcia here.
Gripe,
Gripe online?
Lewis, Tarver,
Harvard's here.
Linder,
Under here.
Soldiers, Roth.
Roth is here.
In-person quorum?
Okay, we have an in-person quorum, and again, we have Mr. Gripe is online.
No problem.
We have no objection. I'm always amused when somebody in the crowd says no objection. If you have an objection, speak up. If you don't, that's no objection. But okay, thank you. I'm trying to see what else we need to actually cover.
Yeah, where did we leave off?
I guess,
We just have 3 resolutions that we need to vote on.
okay. So the first resolution was authorizing the contract for the commercial insurance broker.
I think you need to do the minutes too.
Okay, I'll
You want to
redo
do
it.
those?
Roth will make a,
I thought Roth did that.
yeah, but it was before we did roll call, so we'll redo it to make it legal. Correct, Ms. Juby? Thank you. Roth will make a request a unanimous approval of the minutes.
Okay, without objection, it will be so.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
Thank you, Ms. Juby.
Now, skipping down to the resolutions, the first one is authorizing a contract for the commercial insurance broker consultant. They were here and made a presentation in the first part of the meeting. Mr. Tarver, did you have the opportunity to hear that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you have the opportunity to hear the presentation from the broker? Good, okay. So is there other discussion on that? Roll call vote, please.
Did we have a first and a second?
I'll make the motion.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. We need a motion.
Carver seconds.
Thank you. I'm halfway awake this morning. Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Tarver,
Carver, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Linder.
Linder, yes.
Passes?
Okay, the next resolution is authorizing Blue Cross Blue Shield and Cigna as Kane County's group health and dental benefit provider for 2026. Anything you want to say about that, Jamie?
If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. This is just a continuation of our existing benefits into the next year.
And flat.
The rates is the next resolution, so that's a separate resolution, yeah.
Any
Motion.
discussion?
No, we need to do
We
motion
need
and
a motion
second.
then.
I'll second. So Garcia second.
All right, I was gonna let you do motion.
Okay.
And then Mr.
Garcia moves and Mr. Roth seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Okay, we'll roll call on that.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Gripe, yes.
Tarver,
Carver, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Linder.
Linder, yes. Okay, the final resolution is approving the 2026 monthly health and dental contribution rates that we had discussed. Because our reserves are right where they need to be and could be a little over, we're going to keep rates flat for both the our contribution in our budget and for the employees' contribution. We're gonna keep it flat. That's the meaning of this resolution. If we can have a motion.
Garcia, Moves.
Ms. Garcia moves.
Carver seconds.
Mr. Tarver seconds. Discussion. Okay, roll call, please.
Garcia,
Garcia, yes.
Gripe,
Right, yes.
Carver,
Carver, yes.
Roth,
Roth, yes.
Linder.
Linda, yes. We have a motion for unanimous consent to place reports on file.
Roth will make a request that we unanimously put the reports on file.
Without objection, it'll be no need for an executive session. Anything else for the good of the order?
Ms. Garcia wanted to make the last motion.
Garcia, go ahead and adjourn the meeting. Motion to move.
Motion to adjourn, second,
Okay.
all in favor?
Roth will second.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. We still made it on